able to do those things for my grandma, and like I said, I continue to help my grandma behind closed doors, and it's none of you guys' business what I do for her. But I'm not redoing the house. I'm not redoing the house. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I don't see how that is beneficial to me. She hasn't complained one time. The inside of her house is marvelous. They've always kept it up. It's just an older house. They've had it in the family since before I was born, since my grandma was a kid. So that house, it looks exactly how it should for the wear and tear that they got out of it. So shout out to my grandma. She's a tough soul. She has a good spirit. Great person.
Definitely, you have to walk like
What kind of shoes is those? Wait, don't trip over your dog. You got on them Andre 3000 Crocs.
Industrial Crocs.
Them alligator skaters. Come on, let's go. Oh, come on. Okay. I'm mad at myself. I'm about to cry. Because
Why?
because I didn't know. I didn't know the extent. Like, I can't even, I'm about to tell you guys, I'm about to cry because this is crazy. I didn't know to what extent this is. I haven't been here in 20 years, so I don't know what it's about to look like. I moved out of here when I was a kid, so I'm about to go in there and see. Then I went to the Navy, then I came back, then I went to college, but then after that I moved in with my auntie's house, which I showed you guys, but I haven't been in here. She don't even think I should go in there, which is a sign, but I'm still going to go in there because we're going to change this whole thing. It's never going to look like how it looks now. I haven't been in there yet, but when we come out, you guys are going to probably feel like I owe everyone an apology for this. But it's not my fault. Because I know if you saw that video a long time ago when I surprised my grandma with a new car, a shopping spree, a new wig, and a new iPhone, and pay her cell phone bill every month, I told her she could either live with me and get all of that anyway, or just get all of that right then and there. She chose the shopping spree and the car and all that, and look.
This is the car.
The car is still here. I didn't take it back from her. I think it's time to go in there. We were about to renovate your house. You were about to have the best looking house in this city, and you have a lot of things to change. You have the cat problem. We're going to find families for them, but you don't need, how many animals you have?
I got 4 dogs.
4 dogs. Keep
And
track.
I got 20 cats.
Oh, the cat. They in the house? Are they in the house?
I remember this guy. He's on camera. I remember you, man. And your brother Nepo. Oh. I never forget, man. That is crazy. Everybody still lives here. That's crazy, man. So we're going to go in your house and we're going to renovate everything, okay? Let's see what it looks like. Yes, he did. But I thought it was alright. But it's sad, I'm sad to tell you, Willie didn't come back home last night. Well, no, Willie. Show me the house. From your perspective.
This house has been here. I've been here since I was in 3rd grade.
And how old are you now?
And now I'm 73.
So how old were you in 3rd grade?
I was 9, I believe.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
And this house was here before you?
This house was 2 years old when we moved in here.
Okay. So that's really cool. So this area.
This is my 3rd address in Indiana. When we first moved from Arkansas, we lived at 1609 Madison. It was a basement apartment. 1 room. And it was 4 kids, my mom and my dad. We moved from there to 1916 Missouri, right up there by Dory Miller. You can walk down our backyard. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, it's grass.
We walk down a hill from our backyard, and you be in Dory Miller. And then we moved here.
You know,
Well, I did get a new furnace.
you got a new furnace?
And a new central air, because I didn't have no heat for 5 years. 5 winters. Wow. And you know how the winters is here.
Didn't you have grown men living in here too?
Who?
Like Jerome?
Just not for long.
They wasn't open and they actually lived here. It's freezing in here.
I
Sounds
had
like.
put them out, huh?
Oh, you put them out. Well, I remember somebody lived in here. Leroy, he was stealing from you. You had all kind of people living in here, and then we got him put in jail. But
Jewelry.
so look in here. And how I was about to tell him how my grandmother really needs a new house. Her house is just like it's done. We can turn it into a monumental home like Michael Jackson's home, but the inside needs to be cleared out. My grandmother's lived there since she was in 3rd grade. That house has been there since before she got there. and she doesn't want to leave, but we're kind of going to force her to leave. And he was about to tell us a story, and I told him to tell us on camera, so I don't even know what he's about to tell us. But listen to my older friend Kevin, someone who I trust with my life, someone I trust with my finances, someone I trust with my secrets. I love this guy. He's going to tell us a story about him and his mother, so we can kind of understand that what I'm going through is not just a me situation, it's kind of like a cultural thing.
Now, I went through something similar. So when my mom wanted to get her kitchen redone, like I'm thinking the house is valued at about $40,000. So I'm thinking $40,000 house, kitchen maybe $7,000, $8,000, based on the price. The kitchen came up to $21,000. So I'm like, you might as well go get another house instead of spend $21,000 on the kitchen.
That's it.
But long story short, she wasn't moving, so we spent 20 G's on the kitchen in a $40,000 house.
Now, what's the house worth now?
$40,000.
Do you understand what he just said? I didn't know that story prior to this. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
But for those of you that don't understand what he just said is, he went and invested $20,000. Now, notice I said the word invested. Some of you guys say, just do it because it's your grandmother. Well, is that a smart investment?
Gotta make sense.
It has to make sense. If I invest $167,000, that is exactly what it costs to redo my grandmother's house. If I invest $167,000 into my grandmother's house, and the whole neighborhood most expensive house is worth $90,000,
Yeah.
what am I doing? I'm throwing money out of the window. So for those of you saying, how could you let your grandma live there? I didn't let my grandma do anything. She's my grandmother. She's my superior. She chose to do that. I continuously gave her money. She will admit, I will get her on video saying these things. I continuously gave her money and made sure she was good and taken care of. But her situation, I'm not going to take credit for that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remove her from that situation the same way I did in 2016. But it's not my fault that she's attached to this house. I'm from a different generation than she is. She's from a generation that's where she feels like this house needs to be in her life forever. I don't feel that same way. That house is a nice house, and I love the fact that I grew up in there, but I'm not attached to it mentally or physically, which means I can move. And I've shown you guys this numerous of times. And his mother didn't want to move. Long story short, this is no shade to anybody, especially to his mother or my grandmother, or to me. I don't want to shade myself or him. She didn't move, and now he threw away money. That's what I'm trying to say. So, long story short, she might love her new kitchen, but there's no value, which means he will never see his money again. I don't want to do things like that. I've already learned that wasting money on clothes and jewelry and shoes is just not smart, right? So we've already done that. But now I'm learning about real estate, and I do have a brokerage that I own and I'm a part of, and I will be talking about that later, not in this video. But I've learned that throwing money out of the window is not the best thing to do, especially if you're trying to leave behind a legacy. And that is exactly what even he's trying to do. He's taught me this working out, how he doesn't want to just die and be successful. He wants to leave a legacy. Ain't that what you taught me?
That's it, bro. That's what it's about, bro.
I'm not just saying words.
We're going to be gone one day.
We will.
But it's the legacy we live and how people think about us and the people we've impacted. That's what's going to really matter. So, you know what I'm saying? Because just imagine once you're gone, if the Cordero just ended and nobody talked about you no more. I keep saying, man, when I pass away, I want people to make a movie about my life. Be like, man, this dude did so many cool things. We need to make a movie. So that's part of that legacy, bro. You want to leave a positive impact on people, man. So we ain't out here just messing around. We trying to be smart with it.
Yes, sir.